Thank you for tuning in to All Ear Sports Radio podcast with yours truly, Brandon Clark. Catch up on previous episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music every Friday by 12 noon. Weekly basis, you will hear all news updates, predictions, and reviews of both the NFL and the NBA. First 15 to 20 minutes of each show will contain information for the Denver Broncos and the Denver Nuggets. Be sure to stick around for discussion throughout the entire league of both the NFL and the NBA. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at All Ears Radio. Here we go, baby. And a special thanks for this beautiful beat to the intro of my podcast goes to a man across the Atlantic in the southeastern United Kingdom area. He goes by the name of Zaz. He is a music producer, and if you need any beats made custom, he is definitely your guy. You can reach him on Instagram at _AIZAZSHAH. Check him out on his YouTube channel at ZazBeats. Once again, thanks for the beat, homie. And here we go, episode 1 of All Ear Sports Radio with myself, Brandon Clark. We're going to kick off every single episode with a daily quote, all for positivity. To live a creative life, we must lose our fear of being wrong. And that is from Unknown. Just a little bit about myself. My name is Brandon Clark. This is my first episode ever on any sort of streaming, podcast, videos, anything. I'm from Salina, Kansas, and I currently live in Mesa, Arizona. I have 2 years of JUCO basketball under my belt, so I'm really involved with sports, especially basketball and football. And diving straight in, I'm going to go ahead and start with the Denver Broncos during this offseason. The NFL draft starts April 23rd through the 25th, and I just think the Broncos need to land another wide receiver. I just feel like that would be really good for us. A guy that's been just going through my head a lot is Jerry Jeudy. Dude is 6'1", 190 pounds from Alabama. You probably know of him. Insane wide receiver. His 40-yard dash in a combine this year was a 4.45, vertical jump of 35 inches. He started 14 out of 15 games, caught 68 passes for 1,315 yards, 19 yards per carry, 14 receiving touchdowns, and he ended his college career as a junior. I think he would just be a great addition alongside with Cortland Sutton, Deshaun Hamilton, and Tim Patrick. Bradley Chubb and Von Miller, I believe, complete our strongest position at linebacker. With Chubb out for a majority of the 2019 season, Von Miller only ended with 8 sacks, and I thought he'd pick up a little bit of the slack, but, I mean, what all can he do? Jeremiah Tauchu stepped up for 21 tackles with 3.5 sacks in 12 games, and that's really good for us, especially at the linebacker position with Bradley Chubb out. I'd say our weakness with the Denver Broncos definitely have to be the offensive line and cornerbacks. This definitely doesn't mean that we can't get players to build up the positions to be good. Garrett Bowles and Jawan James making a comeback for a better season. We need them. I hope they don't leave. But I have all confidence in the world that they'll come back for a better 2020. Our cornerback situation is just a little interesting to me, with obvious reasoning of Chris Harris Jr. leaving due to maybe not exceeding his needs. Money, we got a lot of money, but at the same time, do we want to bring him back? I don't think so. Bryce Callahan, Devontae Harris, and our newest corner, giving up a 4th-round pick, A.J. Bowie. Actually talked to this to a coworker the other day. Said that's kind of a crappy pickup for us, but I think he's going to do great. But yeah, I think our corners can definitely turn into a good group for sure. And then into the first topic, it was a huge rumor a couple weeks ago. Broncos have interest in Stefon Diggs. If somehow, some way we picked him up, it would have to be the nastiest set of the youngest wide receiver core in the NFL. Diggs is most likely looking for at least $11 million. If we trade him, the Vikings would have to take around an $8.5 million dead money charge. And for those of you that don't know what a dead money charge, that's basically paying money for a player you don't have. You don't want that. I feel like this could be a long shot. There's just too many faults that the Broncos could gain from this, picking him up. Thinking of Diggs with Sutton, Patrick, and Hamilton would, just, like I said, it would place Denver's wide receivers easily in the top 10 in the league, hands down. But in the end, it's just a rumor. I don't see why the Minnesota Vikings would want to trade him or let him go. Branching off, I feel like if the Vikings got rid of Kirk Cousins, this could give Minnesota's young wide receiver roster a chance to show skill. And onto another topic, Derek Wolfe leaving Denver. Big number 95, Derek Wolfe, he's a monster. As a Broncos fan, I always show respect for players and wherever they decide to go. A high percentage of players open to other teams makes me want to say, no, please stay. But ambition to win and get paid, is the best option. I can't blame a professional athlete. But I feel like if Wolf was to leave, these are the four teams that I would pick. Arizona Cardinals, Baltimore Ravens, New England Patriots, Cincinnati Bengals. It's going to leave a dent in Denver's defensive line with Adam Gotsis and most likely Shelby Harris leaving to the Indianapolis Colts. Heard about that. Derek Wolfe from Ohio. That would be good. He played at Cincinnati, so and with being from Ohio, that's a good bet. Always being back home, can't ever go wrong with that. But I feel like if he was to go to Arizona, he would definitely feel a familiar presence with former coach Vance Johnson. Had him for 2 years. He's on the coaching staff in Arizona. Also, I see New England and Baltimore letting the big bad Wolf in, allowing him to look at a Super Bowl ring. End of story. Either Wolf stays or my prediction, I think he's going to end up in Baltimore if things hit the fan. Denver showing love for Drew Lock. This is going to be the third and final topic with the Denver Broncos. I'm going to sound like John Elway here, but I love Drew Lock. Showed so much in the last 5 games of the 2019 season. He's a Mizzou alumni, grew up in Lee Summit, Missouri, which is actually 3 hours east of my hometown of Salina, Kansas. Going 4-1 with starting the last 5 games of the season is huge for a rookie quarterback. And Patrick Smith had a tweet about Drew Lock. He was the first rookie quarterback in NFL history to throw over 300 yards with 3 touchdown passes in his first career road start. That's insane. As much joy that I have for Drew, he has a weakness, as all professional players have in my opinion, reading cornerbacks. Throwing 3 interceptions in 5 games can be a little head-turning. Throwing 1 at Houston against the Texans, 1 at home against the Los Angeles Chargers, and 1 against the Chiefs at Kansas City. I feel that he will have a good, true sophomore quarterback season. Entirely, I have Denver going 10-6 overall, second in the AFC West. And then leaving the football talk behind, we're going to go ahead and get into basketball with the NBA. Where will the Nuggets end up this season? I have them going 3rd in the Western Conference. It's just going to be very hard to get the Lakers out of the number 1 spot. They just can't seem to lose right now. I got the Los Angeles Clippers at 2, Denver Nuggets at 3, Houston Rockets at 4, and then I'm going to have the OKC Thunder at 5, Utah Jazz at 6, Dallas Mavericks at 7, and Memphis Grizzlies at 8. And we got Nikola Jokic standing at 7 foot, 280 pounds, with 21 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists per contest. Jamal Murray, 6'4", combo guard, 215 pounds, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists a game. But can these numbers of these 2 players get the Nuggets to the Western Conference Finals? This year, I'm going to say no. I think we're going to end up where we were last year in the second round. I just don't think we have the pieces right now. We definitely will have some better looks in this offseason. I feel like the whole Drew Holiday thing going around before the trade deadline, I didn't really want to do that, giving up Gary Harris, Malik Beasley, and Juancho Hernan-Gomez, and I think a draft pick to just acquire Drew Holiday. I just don't think it's worth it, and especially with Denver. Although we did get rid of Malik Beasley and Juancho Hernan-Gomez to the Minnesota Timberwolves, but that's a good move. I'm a huge Juancho Hernan-Gomez fan. It's good to see them on a team where they can actually get a lot of minutes, as Malik Beasley was getting more time than Juancho in Denver. I just feel like that's just a good fit for them, especially with them not wanting to sign back with us. Is Denver missing any pieces? Absolutely. With We have 4 players coming up on the end of their contracts: Paul Millsap, Mason Plumlee, Torrey Craig, and Noah Vonleh. Paul Millsap, I'm gonna have to say we gotta let you go, man. Growing up in Denver, that's so cool that you get to go back to your hometown, play for the team you most likely grew up watching. He's a huge addition to our offense. The man is just crazy in the short corner. Can really, his offensive game is just almost on point. But at the same time, his defense is just kind of a little outdated. Like I'm saying, I'm not putting anything against him. I'm just stating the facts. Mason Plumlee is so damn good around the basket. But if he could hit some free throws, he would be even more of a better player. With Mason Plumlee, as good on offense as he is around the basket, as well on defense, he is really good at protecting the rim. Not as good as a Rudy Gobert rim protector or Anthony Davis rim protector, but at the same time, he definitely has, the second caliber of being, up there with those top-notch rim defenders. So I got to say we got to keep him, especially Bol coming in, playing for our G League team. With Bol, being the structure he is, he would be a really good rim protector, but at the same time, can he hit those shots against veteran NBA players? I don't know. We're going to have to see. But Mason Plumlee, we got to keep him. Torrey Craig, this guy, I can talk about him for days. He can give you 10 points a game and also be the best defender he can night in and night out. Every game he plays, you can just watch and understand that this man is really out for blood. Every time we play the LA Lakers, he's guarding LeBron. Every time we play the Clippers, he's guarding Kawhi, he's guarding Paul George. If we play the Raptors, he's definitely guarding Siakam. He's just always playing the star players of each team, especially at the guard position. He can also play post defense. He's actually played tremendous defense against Giannis Antetokounmpo. Seen him play defense, help defense on Rudy Gobert. The man is just defense. I actually had a conversation with my father earlier. He was telling me he can definitely see Torrey Craig as Defensive Player of the Year down the stretch, and I 100% agree with that. And then on to Noah Vonleh. We picked him up just this year. I feel like he's a good player. I just don't see a spot for him in Denver right now, especially with what we need and what we don't have. But the guy is still good, can definitely give you some good runs offensively. Defensively, he's pretty solid. But I just feel like we have to let him go, just especially with what we have. I don't know if I want Jrue Holiday in Denver. I just don't see what he could bring. Like I was saying earlier, I don't see him meshing well with Jamal Murray, even though Jamal Murray would like to be pushed to a 2-guard, which I feel like he's more comfortable with. With Nikola Jokic, I don't really see that. I don't see him and Gary Harris playing on the same team because they would have to be interchangeable in a trade. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to leave with the Denver Nuggets. And then switching gears back into the NFL, we got the whole situation of the Tom Brady rumors. Is he going to stay in New England for another season? Is he going to retire? Or is he going to go play somewhere else? I'll dive into that right now. Personally, I do not think that Tom Brady will return to New England. I've heard that they have not been in contact since the season ended for the Patriots. But the Ringer had 5 top landing spots for Tom Brady in this offseason, with, in order, Chicago Bears, Indianapolis Colts, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Los Angeles Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders. And I think those are all a little fishy to me. But with my perspective of it, I feel like my top 5 landing spots for him in order would be the Tennessee Titans, Los Angeles Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders, Chicago Bears, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady going against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs twice a year. I just don't see him doing that with going to the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. I just don't think he would want to do that. The only reason I could see him doing that is show who's boss as a quarterback. GOAT versus young GOAT, being Patrick Mahomes, in today's lingo with that. He might want to do that to slow down the hype of the young quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Even though he's a Super Bowl champion now, congrats to him in Kansas City. That's really awesome for that city of Kansas City. It's awesome, but I don't see Tom Brady getting himself in that predicament, because that could be two for sure losses in the season. I don't think he would want to do that. But also, I could see Tom Brady going to the Tennessee Titans. He is used to running a division, the AFC East, Buffalo Bills, New York Jets, Miami Dolphins. You kind of ask for an easier division, still making a large playoff run. But another fact about Tom Brady that I found astounding is his rookie season was in 2000. His first season as a starter was 2001. Never having a losing season, 17 division titles, ridiculous, and 6-4 in the Super Bowl. Crazy. And my last idea of this, Tom Brady will end up in Tennessee, avoiding Kansas City in their prime. That's just... he's smarter than that. I don't think he would want to get himself into a mess like that. Tom Brady will either maybe end up in Los Angeles or Las Vegas, accepting the challenge. But end of discussion, Tom Brady to Tennessee, moving Ryan Tannehill to New England or Vegas, sending Derek Carr to the Bears if Ryan Tannehill was to go to Las Vegas. But I don't see that. I could see the Raiders keeping on to Derek Carr. Great young quarterback. He just gets the job done. But yes, I have Tom Brady going to the Tennessee Titans. And then touching up a little bit on the NFL, I'm going to go right back into the NBA for the last topic of this show. Zion Williamson. Is he the punctuation mark for New Orleans? The guy can give you 20 points easily against anyone. This man is overpowered. He's fast. He's strong. He's unreal. He's explosive. I will never shun or throw any new rookie player down the drain, but I'm one of those guys who thought Zion would be a bust in the NBA. I do hope he never gets injured, as high-flying, real explosive NBA players are very high and injury-prone. Just for example, Derrick Rose, Blake Griffin. I feel like his quickness is very similar to Derrick Rose, and his explosiveness is like Blake Griffin. I just really hope this guy doesn't get hurt. He's a great young player, and I go out places here in Phoenix, and I will literally see a Zion Williamson jersey. It doesn't surprise me, but at the same time, this kid is 18, 19 years old, and he's literally... even on Instagram, I noticed even when I was in my JUCO basketball days, seeing this kid as an 8th grader just, nearly breaking backboards. This kid is insane. But with the question being asked, is Zion Williamson the punctuation mark in New Orleans? My answer to that is no, because Zion Williamson is outstanding as a player, as an individual, but we're talking New Orleans here. We're talking as a team. What makes up New Orleans? With Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, J.J. Redick, who is hurt, I just feel like especially with J.J. Redick being a veteran, I just feel like they should be more run and gun type of play. But at the same time, they're just too slow for me to think that they have a well-rounded team for Zion Williamson to be a punctuation mark. But one of the number one things, Zion Williamson won't be there for his entire career. I know he just started. It's his rookie year. Even if he plays a 20-year career, I don't see him being in New Orleans for the rest of his career. I just feel like it's way out of proportion. I don't even see Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram staying there. I feel like once they get a little older, they will definitely be on a team, perhaps a super team. In the future, whatever team that may be. I just don't think New Orleans has it right now, but I do give kudos to Zion Williamson for having definitely one of the best rookie seasons for missing half the season. He is really getting the job done. He's making himself look good. He's making his teammates look good. He's making New Orleans look good. But I'm going to have to say no. Zion Williamson is not the punctuation mark in New Orleans. And with all that being said, we're going to wrap things up here for episode 1 of All Ear Sports Radio. If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, go ahead and hit that follow. This is Brandon Clark. I'm signing off.